Amigo grande baseball, até momento llega. Nos muchelanta vai subir terreno contra a equipo di Japão. Ita piana aqui di Little League, e campeona di Caribe, e campeona di Liga Pariba, vai subir terreno contra o Japão na Williamsport. De maneira passada, ora Costa Grande, por conta com a planta nacional, por cortesia de UTS e ENIA, nós temos apresentado o partido aqui. Nos muchelanta vai subir com determinação forte. Nós sacamos contra o Japão. Japão não é uma equipe fácil, mas nós sabemos nos por contra o Japão. Nós estamos subindo o terreno com ânimo, determinação e também se nos escolhe para apresentar o partido aqui também. Esperando naturalmente que o costo mais bom para nós funcionar, mas costo estava na Puerto Rico e na nossa gana com relativa facilidade. Nos bateu estava bom, nos picheu estava tremendo e não papel mais de nossa defesa. Pois não tem motivo para dúvida que o AVE e também vir tremendo partido. E também se UTS e ENIA e com planta nacional está desejando nos funcionar por classe de éxito e la nos hace password para Williamsport.
It's the Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. The sun gods are shining today, and the baseball gods gotta love it. It is a magnificent day here in Williamsport, and we are ready to play some baseball as the Little Leaguers get set to go. The opening game, Cur Jap takes on Japan, two teams who have been here a good deal in past years. For these teams to get here, they had to go through division play. 16 teams have made it, 2 brackets, 8 international, 8 from the U.S. Ages are 11 through 13. These are 6-inning ball games. The field is about 2/3 the size of a major league field, and minimum mandatory play. That means everybody gets an opportunity for at least an at-bat and a defensive inning. Take a look at what we've got for brackets. There's the kickoff game in the international bracket. And Chinese Taipei in Germany, Canada, Mexico, Uganda. A very interesting story here. And then they'll play Panama. It's going to be California, Connecticut, Tennessee, Nebraska, New Jersey, Texas, Oregon, and Indiana going in the U.S. brackets. With Nomar Garcia-Pera, I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome, everybody. This is the 66th Little League World Series. I don't think the kids probably got a lot of sleep last night waiting for today.
I know I wouldn't, and I'm just thinking 66, that's 66 years of smiles from ear to ear from adults and kids alike. It sure is a fun time.
They love it, and you get to see some great baseball, as you all know. One of the teams that comes out here with some real flair every Little League World Series is Japan.
Well, Japan, and the guy taking the hill for them today is by the name of Kotaro Kiyomiya. I mean, he stands at 6 foot tall, 206 pounds, and he says he likes his fastball. Why wouldn't he? Because at 46 feet, he can get up that fastball up to 80 miles an hour, and that's a major league equivalent of 104 miles per hour.
See, I can bail on those, you know. Even at this
too.
age, I can bail.
Me too.
Chris McKendry had a chance to talk with their starter.
Gary and Nomar, Kotaro Kiyomiya, all 200-plus pounds and 6 feet of them joining me. Welcome to Williamsport. What's been your favorite part?
We see many people coming, and the ballpark here is so beautiful.
The size of you. Had to bring out my big girl heels for this interview. How many home runs did you hit this year?
60 home run in 50 games.
60 home runs in 50 games. And you're also the ace. You're ready to start today's game. How do you feel about your pitches?
It's very fun.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 46 feet to the mound, to the plate, and you throw 80 miles per hour, they say.
Yes.
Best of luck today. I hope we see a few home runs.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. He's also wearing number 27. You can see Nomar and Gary. Traditionally, the ace of the Japanese staff wears number 18. That uniform here didn't fit.
Yeah, that number 18, because Juachiban is slang for the word favorite in Japanese, and Juachi means 18. So they can replace favorite and 8 in the number 18. But like you said, it didn't fit.
Whatever number he wears, he can throw and hit the baseball. But going up against a team with some experience here, Curaçao, always a tough team to play against.
Yeah, this is an 11th time a team from Curaçao has made it to the Little League World Series. And when I look at their record, they're 33-16 all time here at the Little League World Series, and 11 of those losses have come from a team against a team from Japan. So they are definitely going to have their work cut out for them, but you can see they are ready and happy and excited to be playing today.
Curaçao brings lots of color every time they come to the Little League World Series. Keep in mind, Japan has won 19 consecutive opening Little League World Series games.
Kellogg's Frosted Flakes gives you flakes for fuel and frosting for fun. It's part of a balanced breakfast.
They're great!
Show your stripes.
Meeting mas speed din kaya style 4G plus with special apps plus mas posibilidad network sosial video streaming y ora mi que anytime anywhere UTS 4G plus experiencia
UTS 4G Plus.
experiencia
UTS 4G Plus. 4G Plus. 4G Plus. 4G Plus. Yay.
Series is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great! And in part by Subway. Avocado season's going strong at Subway. Add super good, superfood avocado to all your favorite subs.
Some of the shots from past Little League World Series goes all the way back to 1947. We are at Volunteer, one of the two ballparks here for the Little League World Series. This one opened in 2001. And here we go with game one. Let's meet the kids from Curaçao.
My name is Shandrik Apostle. My position is first base and my favorite player is Andrew Jones.
Hi, my name is Melo Barranco. I play center field and my favorite player is Albert Pujols.
Hi, my name is Raleigh Saventura and my position is utility and my favorite baseball player is Robinson Cano.
Hi, my name is Dayton Beagle and I play outfield and pitcher and my favorite player is Jose Batista.
Hi, my name is Yamani Bukod. My position is first baseman and pitcher. My favorite player is Adrian Gonzalez.
My name is Rueni Carolina. My position is second base.
My favorite player is Robinson Cano.
Buen día, mi nombre es Judison Fecunda. Mi posición está outfielder. Mi favorito player is Anderson Simmons.
My name is Armain Abad. My position is catcher and outfielder. My favorite player is Andrew Jones.
Buen día, mi nombre es Arjun Huerta. Mi posición está right field, primera base, cu pitcher. Mi jugador favorito está infielder.
Hi, my name is Michel Johansson. I play shortstop and pitcher. My favorite player is Derek Jeter.
My name is Shair Jansen. My position is third base and second base, and my favorite player is Anderson Simmons.
Buen día, mi nombre es Regional Viana. Mi posición de catcher con pitcher. Mi jugador favorito es José Bautista.
Hi, my name is Christopher Koeman. I play in third base and pitcher, and my favorite baseball player is David Ortiz.
My name is Idan Rafael, and my position is left field. My favorite baseball player is Derek Jeter.
Well, let's take a look at the Nautica starting lineup for the kids from Curacao.
Well, we saw them earlier doing backflips before the game, and that's usually how they play, with style and athleticism.
Very fast team that when they get on the base pass can make things very interesting. This team from Curacao went 6-0 in their division play to get here and outscored opponents 65-7. It'll take some doing, though, to get those kinds of runs off this 13-year-old.
I mean, he's on the mound. They compare him to Babe Ruth. I don't know if it's because he pitches and he's also their power hitter in their lineup or because of his size. I mean, 6 foot, 206 pounds, and we'll see if he can get it up to that 80-mile-an-hour range.
Dayton Bigal will lead it off, and that is in there for a strike in this Little League World Series is underway as we begin the countdown here over the next 10 days, couple of weeks to get to the point of the champion, and this is game number 1. Bigal trying to catch up to that fastball. It's almost, the kids are almost going to have to start swinging before he releases the ball.
And, you know, not only does he have that tremendous fastball, but he's got a good, sharp breaking ball and command of that as well. So when you start anticipating that fastball, he'll just break off that curveball.
Bigal is the left fielder, swings through that one and a strikeout, and already you see the kind of dominance that he's had this year.
I mean, he just came right after the first hitter with fastballs, all fastballs, and they were increasing in velocity with each one. That final one reached 78 miles per hour, and as you can see in the bottom right when it shows a major league equivalent of 101 on that last pitch.
Kiyomiya, you start a ball game like this, and if you're Curacao on the other side, probably already starting to think, but are we going to try and put the ball down maybe here and see if we can get something going?
I mean, once again, you see that miles per hour. We reached 100, and if you're at home, what does that mean? It's really the reaction time because they're pitching from 46 feet.
Herman Habat, and that's exactly what he does. He squares around, but that pitch is low and on the corner, very tough to bunt, and it's a strike 0-2. So nothing but strikes so far to start the game.
Maybe put something in play. You're exactly right. Trying to put the ball in play, square around, put some pressure on this defense. But once again, Japan usually strong defensively.
That'll just miss outside. Curacao coming in the 11th time they have been here. The last time was in 2009. They have a great record of 33 wins and 16 losses in Little League World Series play, but they've only beaten Japan twice. And again, unable to catch up with that fastball, and 2 strikeouts to start.
And here's what I was talking about, that pitch speed equivalent. You can see 70 miles per hour is equivalent to a 91 mile per hour fastball in the major leagues, and we can see that 77 and 80 and what that reaches. And the reason we probably added that graphic 77-80 because of this man on the hill right now. We had to add that.
Usually don't have to do
right,
that.
You don't usually reach that one, but boy, he is reaching those levels today. Probably has some excitement, and not only is he reaching those levels, but he's showing the command as well.
And thank goodness, at least early on, he has control.
I mean, the reaction time, and like we said, we do that mathematically. It's the reaction time of a major leaguer facing 100 miles per hour, 104. I guess like facing Aroldis Chapman. Ooh. Yeah,
no
I'm
thank
sure
you.
Many major leaguers say the same thing.
Riley Sanventura will take the pitch outside. A couple of ways, obviously, you can approach this if you are Curacao. One, you hope maybe he gets a little wild and you take some pitches and you get some walks and you try and run and bunt a little bit. Or the other thing is you just start to swing early and hope you can catch a fastball. Fouled right back into the mitt. And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes with 2 down.
Well, when somebody is throwing this hard, and if you're Curacao and you are start making contact, that'll also boost your confidence.
Yeah.
If you go out there and start putting that ball in play.
Not this time, though. Strikes the side out, tag is made, and that will do it. 3 strikeouts, 11 pitches.
Well, he goes fastball, guys, striking him out, bringing the heat early on in the first batter. Got the next one with another fastball, and in case you're looking for it, here's the breaking ball.
By Curaçao North Jazz Festival com o Chippy. Para cada 5 florinhos que você usa for de Chippy, você recebe automaticamente lote digital para participar em rifa pagana. Primeiro prêmio é all-inclusive stay na Princess Beach para 2 pessoas, mais 2 entradas para North Jazz para tur 12 noites e 250 florinhos na consumo durante o festival. Segundo e terceiro prêmio dá 2 entradas para Jazz Festival plus 125 florinhos na consumo. É grátis a quantidade de lote que você tem. Você manda SMS com a palavra Chippy na 7777. Campanha da bala do até 29 de agosto. Banco Curaçao North Jazz com Chippy.
Possession はキャッチャーです。好きな選手はニューヨークヤンキースのディレク・ジータ選手です。僕の名前は平野麟太郎です。ポジションはライトで、好きなプロ野球選手は長野久義選手です。僕の名前は入江達也です。ポジションはキャッチャー、好きな選手は阿部慎之助選手です。僕は石田裕太です。ポジションはピッチャーとファーストをやっています。好きな選手は今宮健太選手です。僕の名前は石塚裕樹です。ポジションはサードです。好きな野球選手は阿部慎之助です。僕の名前は鏡圭介です。ポジションはレフトです。好きな選手はアレックス・ロドリゲスです。My name is Kotaro Kiyomiya. My position is pitcher. My favorite player is Elot. 僕の名前は宮下拓人です。ポジションはファーストです。好きな選手は宮國投手です。僕の名前は茂木はじめです。ポジションはショートとセカンドです。好きな選手は長野久義選手です。僕の名前は長田隆二です。ポジションはライトとピッチャーをやっています。好きな選手は杉内俊也選手です。My name is Noriatsu Osaka. My position is second and short. My favorite player is Hiroki Nakajima. My name is Shun Oshima. My position is center. My favorite player is Hirokazu Ibata. 名前は高橋丹治です。ポジションはレフトです。好きな選手はイチローです。
And the first pitch ground ball hits off the foot. And Curacao out defensively as we get set here for the bottom half against the team from Japan that scored a lot of runs getting to the Little League World Series.
And Christopher Koyman taking the hill, has good command with 4 of his pitches.
Osaka goes to center, an Adam ball. Bronco there to get it. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Japan, brought to you by Honda.
Well, we're going to see them being aggressive at the plate, swinging the bat. They also are very good at playing small ball and bunting, but the power that this particular Japanese team has is incredible. We already heard that, if that is right, their 3-hitter who's on the hill, 60 home runs in 50 games. Oh.
Nicknamed the Babe. I wonder where that came from. And the pitch is there for a strike. This is the first baseman, Satoru Oyama. Oyama batting in the number 2 spot, the 12-year-old. For this team from Japan in Little League World Series history, their teams have gone 72 and 26. Down the line, that's going to go by into the corner. Bakunda going back to get it. On his way to third, Oyama has got a triple with one away here in the first inning.
Oyama going the other way with this pitch. You see the catcher set up, pitch on the outside, up in the zone, does a good job getting on top of that ball, not trying to pull that ball, and hits it right down the line, just fair inside the right field line.
Well, here's the chance for the Babe. The pitcher, Kiyomiya at the plate. And I can't believe it, but they've actually drawn the infield in a little bit for Curaçao here in the first inning against the most powerful hitter Japan's got.
Well, they're probably noticed the way he pitched in that first inning.
Yeah.
Say it might be tough to score some runs, so let's see if we can limit them.
And that pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. Pretty good giddy up right there on that fastball.
That was good. Koyman going, not afraid to come in. A lot of people are afraid to come in on a power hitter, but it was good. Established that inside zone so you could expand the plate.
Give me a ground ball. Runners coming. They're going to go to the plate. Here's the throw. A good one. Nice slide. A beautiful slide by Oyama to get around. A very good throw by Raleigh-san Ventura from second base, and Japan has the 1-0 lead.
Well, like the infield was in, here was an opportunity. It was a high chopper. Good throw at home, and Oyama just makes an excellent slide. You know, you saw the catch. You see how his front left foot was out in front of home plate? I'd like to see him maybe straddle that bag just a little bit. Had his left foot been back behind him a little bit, it might have given him an easier chance to try to place that tag to see if he could have caught the runner. But an excellent slide at home plate, safe.
Good fundamental baseball on both sides. So a fielder's choice RBI and a foul ball down the right field line. So Japan gets on the board here as that triple is converted into a run. This is the shortstop for Japan, Ishida. Yuta Ishida batting in the number 4 spot. Japan scored a ton of runs getting here to the Little League World Series. They outscored opponents 72-26, as we said. They had 3 wins that were by 10 or more runs. That ground ball will go to first. Runner will advance. Oh, no out! Confusion at first base. Kiyomiya went over the pitcher to cover. Apostle thought he was going to flip it to him, then didn't, and it was too late to get to the bag. Everybody safe.
There was some confusion over here, lack of communication right there for Apostol. He had an opportunity just to reach first, and then he thought, okay, I might not get there in time, thinking that the pitcher is going to cover, rather than just taking it himself and trying to beat the runner, and no one was there.
So it'll go as a single, putting runners on at first and second base with only one away. Japan has come up swinging there, making contact, and they are getting on base. They've swung 6 times and made contact each time. They've gotten the bat off their shoulder, and there's another one foul back. Pretty good cut. Oshima was the center fielder for Japan, has runners on at first and second. Keep in mind now, you can steal, but you cannot go until that ball gets to the plate area before you can take off. There are no leads, and that pitch will be taken outside for a ball. We don't see a lot of stealing at the Little League World Series. One of the reasons being that the catchers tend to be pretty good and can throw well. And when the ball's got to reach the batter before you can leave, you usually don't. In that case, you don't have to. As both runners will move up, it'll be a wild pitch.
And usually in Little League, they have some really solid catchers. They got great technique back there when they blocking the balls, and they got great arms. And this year, you wonder if they've even gotten better because they instituted a new rule where on that 3rd strike, if it hits the ground, that the runner could, try to get first base.
That rule is the same one you see in all higher levels of baseball on that 3rd strike.
And prior to this year, it wasn't a rule in Little League. Even if it hit the ground and it was a 3rd strike, you're automatically out. But they instituted that rule. I think it's a great rule. And I think even catchers are better for it.
Oshima will foul that one away. The thing I always marvel at, Nomar, in these Little League games, and you're seeing it particularly on the Japan side with the pitcher they've got, that you can find kids who are 11 or 12 years old to catch somebody who throws the ball of an equivalent 100-mile-an-hour pitch. I mean, that's hard.
And most kids might be afraid to catch it. One is facing it with the bat, like you said, stepping up to the plate with a bat in your hand and have to face to hit him. But like you mentioned, then you got to have the catcher who's willing to catch him, and they make it look so easy with such soft hands. And especially you'll see these Japanese catchers, how they love to frame that ball. They hold that ball to give the umpire a good look.
Foul off the batter, foul.
They are amazing. As you hear, the home plate umpire making the calls in this game is Dan Campanolo, who is from California, retired teacher and educator out of Oak Grove High School. He's been doing a lot of Little League umpiring over the years. That one is fouled back, and a real tough at bat right here by Oshima, who's fought off 4 pitches on foul balls. Fundamentally sound team, and you've already seen that. The kids from Japan always are, and you saw the great slide here in this inning that scored that first run. A lot of youngsters would not be able to make that kind of a slide to get in. A little bloop towards second base. The runners are going to stay. Riley Sanventura puts it away, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Well, that's what we're going to see often here in the Little League World Series. You're going to see mistakes and misplays. I think the teams that really advance and really, stand out are those teams that do play fundamentally defense. And I've always said this, even in camps and kids, parents have always asked me, what's the key for my kids' development? I said, be able to play catch. Catch and throw. Start with those fundamentals, and you'll always have a place to play on the field.
And here at the Little League World Series, we marvel at some of the plays we see defensively. 2 in scoring position. There are 2 down. And a great pitch that came down and in. Ryoshi is the right fielder.
Well, I'll tell you what, Koyman seems to have settled down here, even though he seems like he's got himself in trouble.
And a base hit and a chance for 2 RBIs. Broncos up. There is a play at the plate. Not in time, and the runner will advance. So Osada delivers a 2 RBI single. Japan goes on top by a score of 3-0, and that comes with 2 away.
Well, big clutch hit by Osada here with 2 down. A couple of guys in scoring position. That ball was up in the zone. And we've seen a couple of hits by Japan with balls up in the zone. They've done an excellent job getting on top of that ball, getting that barrel on top of the ball, and driving it.
So a big first inning for the kids from Japan. 21 pitches have already been thrown, and we're going to get, I believe, a special pinch runner coming out for Japan. That'll be Rentaro Hiraho will come out. Each team in these games is allowed a special pinch runner, 1 per inning. They can use the special pinch runner, and Japan's doing it here. With a runner at second base and 2 down. And a swing and a miss and a pitch inside.
It was a good pitch by Koyman there. I mean, that fastball started off on the inside, had some good late movement that went right underneath the batter's hands.
Higami will take another swing at that one. Unable to hold up on it, and the count will go to 0-2. This is the 7th batter for Japan to hit here at our opener for this 2012 Little League World Series, game number 1. 4 games today, as there are 16 teams, 8 international, 8 from the U.S., and there'll be 2 games in the international bracket today and 2 games in the U.S. bracket to kick things off. Here's the 1-2 delivery and a swing and a miss, and got him, but Japan comes away with 3 runs in the inning. They'll do it on 3 hits. It was a 24-pitch inning. Japan leads at 3-0.
This is
Meeting mas speed din kaya style 4G plus ku special apps plus mas posibilidad network sosial video streaming ki ora mi ke anytime anywhere UTS 4G plus experiencia
UTS 4G plus
experiencia
UTS 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus yeah.
Great vacation spot for people from all over the world, the Curacao. Take a look at where it is, giving you a sense of place as to where these kids come from. Down in the islands, Venezuela and Willemstad. Curacao is where this Little League program that is represented comes from. And the Department of Tourism not only loves the fact that kids get to come here and play, but it is also great stuff for them to show off their great island.
Yeah.
And it is.
And they're familiar with coming here to the Little League World Series. I mean, this is the 11th time we've seen a team from Curacao here at the Little League World Series. So they are playing some good baseball on that little island.
We will go to the second inning now. Curacao trailing 3 strikeouts in that first inning. As 11 pitches were thrown and 9 of them were strikes for Kiyomiya. 5 swings, all misses. The only ball that got touched was a foul tip in that first inning. Janssen to the plate. The shortstop, Michelin Janssen. And you get the impression maybe they're going to take some pitches here in the second inning and see if that controls for real. A strike on the outside corner.
Looked like he took a little bit off of that one to throw that strike. And what I mean by little, that's not much when this guy's on the hill and how hard he throws.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. Foul tipped. Caught the umpire that time right off his mask.
Get that ball.
And it may be called Little League Baseball, but those are not little foul tips. Ooh.
We're good. Hear that one?
Get that ball.
That was right on the money.
I mean, we talk about how hard it is to catch, how hard it is to face a guy throwing this hard, how hard it is to catch one. It must be difficult for an umpire. Probably hasn't seen a guy throw this hard in Little League as well.
Always asked about umpire. These are all volunteers who work all of these games at the Little League World Series. They are selected because of the work they have done during the season and over the years. And oftentimes during the regular season in particular, you talk about the strike zone, the umpires do expand it a little bit from what would be a technical strike, just trying to keep the games moving along, because in the regular season, oftentimes you have youngsters who do not have great command or control. And some of that carries over here in the Little League World Series, too. You'll see pitches that probably are not technically within the strike zone that are called strikes. And the idea is just to try and get kids to hit. Now, here's the rule change right here. That's a strikeout, and on to second base. They didn't know where the ball was. Last year, that simply would have been a strikeout. Batter would have gone back to the dugout. This year, with the implementation of that third strike drop rule, runners on.
And here's an opportunity for Curacao. I mean, this ball gets by the catcher. He can't see where it is. He's looking for it. And Janssen did not hesitate. He sprinted out of the box. At first, but he did not hesitate. Once he started, he was rounding first and now finds himself in scoring position.
So a runner at second base. I think we're going to see a good deal of that in this Little League World Series with these pitchers who throw so hard. There are going to be some third strikes that are going to get away and create some offensive opportunities. It goes as a pass ball for 2 bases. Strikeout is the 4th credited to the pitcher, but you don't get the out in the inning and you get a runner on. Kaiman is the starting pitcher on the other side for Curacao. Gets an at-bat here. There's that big heater and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
No, we talked about for Curaçao trying to get confidence when you're facing a guy who is throwing so hard. Well, here's an excellent opportunity. It may have taken a pass ball to get you that opportunity, but if you can come up big with a hit right here, be huge.
Fouls it off, and as Nomar was mentioning, even foul balls matter against this pitcher. The kids have got to build confidence that they can put the bat on the ball.
I made contact with that ball. All right, I know I can hit it now. It's not going to go right by me.
And it not only is for the youngsters at the plate, but for his teammates who are watching. If he can do it, so can I.
Right.
Runner on at second base, nobody out. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Kiyomiya's delivery to him, and he may have throttled back on that and gets another strikeout. He has struck out everybody faced, 5 of them.
I mean, like you said, you get that confidence with that fastball. You foul one off, and then he comes back with a nice 12-6 curveball for a strike. I mean, that starts off in the zone. I mean, as a hitter, you have to be looking for that fastball. If you're not looking for it, it's just going to go right by you. So your first thought is fastball. I'm getting geared up for it. I'm going to start my swing, and then he takes something off of it with a breaking ball, and it.
Not fair.
That's
not fair.
What I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, that's not fair. My goodness.
Throw 100 and a curveball and a changeup.
Guys in the big leagues doing that right now. And
wow.
Wonder what guys are throwing perfect games now. We just saw Felix Hernandez doing that.
Rich taken up high.
They throw so hard with dynamic breaking ball. Makes it tough to hit.
That ruling is going to, by the way, on the runner going to second, it's both a pass ball and an error charge to the catcher, allowing the runner to go to second. And that pitch is going to be taken away. Nilwad Barranco, who is the center fielder for Curaçao, at the plate. Generally someone with pretty aggressive swings when he's up there like that. He's not afraid to go hacking and has some decent strength.
And since we've seen that breaking ball, that good curveball by Kiyomiya, you know, you want to see yourself in hitters' counts, and that's exactly what I just 2-0. Now I know I can anticipate that fastball.
He does. He puts one in play. Runner's going to move over to third base. Yama makes the play at first, and there are 2 down. Barranco retired. 2 away, runner at third base for Curaçao here in the second.
Barranco makes contact. It's the first ball we've seen put in play against Kiyomiya. Good job by Oyama over there at first base, making the play, taking it himself.
Chendrick Apostol stands in. Apostol playing at first base. Big target over there at first base. Give us some real good size. Runner at third, and he takes the cut and fouls it back. Here's a chance for Curaçao to get that run on the board, and the way he's throwing, there may not be many chances in this ball game to do that. With Japan on top by a score of 3-0. Working out of the stretch position, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, oftentimes you would anticipate somebody with a big windup, utilizing everything of his body to get momentum to throw that hard.
Got a big arm. That'll go to second base. Osaka will make the play. So no runs, no hits. There was an error. A base runner left on. Again, a couple of strikeouts in the inning, and Japan has a 3-0 lead.
Red Sox Yankees, Sunday at 8 on ESPN.
By Curaçao Norse Jazz Festival com o Chippy. Para cada single florinho buhusa for o Chippy, você recebe automaticamente lot digital para participar em rifa pagana. Primeiro prêmio é all-inclusive stay na Princess Beach para 2 pessoas, mais 2 entradas para Norse Jazz para 12 noites e 250 florinhos na consumo durante o festival. Segundo e terceiro prêmio dá 2 entradas para Jazz Festival plus 100 single florinho na consumo. É grátis a quantidade de lote que você tem. Você manda SMS com a palavra Chippy na 7777. Campanha da válida até 29 de agosto. Banco Curaçao Norse Jazz com Chippy.
Let's take a look at our fresh take from Williamsport. It is brought to you by Subway. For Uganda, this is the first African team to reach the Little League World Series. You will be hearing a lot more about this club and the stories surrounding them. The U.S. West region has won 3 of the last 4 Little League World Series titles. Petaluma, California is going to be playing against Fairfield, Connecticut. That will be coming up at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And Kearney, Nebraska makes an appearance, the first Little League team from Nebraska in the Little League World Series.
And just look at Uganda. I mean, everybody's been talking about that team from Africa, and it's so great to see. I mean, last year they thought they were coming to the Little League World Series, and there were some issues with the visas. The year before, they thought they were coming to the Little League World Series, and there was a misinterpretation of a rule, and now they're finally here for the first time, and that's so exciting. It's great about this wonderful sport, this game of baseball, how much it's going global.
Imagine how those kids must feel coming into Williamsport, coming to the United States, the opportunity to play. And their story will be cited often here over the next couple of weeks. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Japan is the home team. He will take that one, and it is a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The decision on who plays whom and the visiting and home teams all done by the luck of the draw.
Hold the ball, hold the ball. Yeah, hold.
So all of the teams have an opportunity to, you just don't know who you're going to play until they're drawn out of the hat. And the drawing comes early enough in the summer so that some of the teams aren't even known as to who exactly is going to be here, but they draw by regions. The strike taken. Japan represents its own region for the Little League World Series. That's the Caribbean region that's represented by Curacao. Here's the 2-2 delivery and a little chopper into right field for a base hit. They just stayed with it. Irihi is on there. Catcher gets a leadoff single in the second.
Well, Irie does a good job on that ball down in the zone. I mean, we talked about that they're fundamentally sound. Japan, well, they're also making contact. Look the way he goes down for that ball, getting the barrel on that ball, staying balanced in his stance. Japan, even when they pitch, you see that pause up there as a pitching style, but they do that on the hit, you know, when they're hitting as well. They have great balance in that box, great eye-hand coordination, puts that ball in play.
Here he is on at first base. We will get a special pinch runner, Hidaka. So Kate Hidaka will come on to be the pinch runner. There is the rule on that.
And how a team may use a player who's not in the batting order as a special pinch runner for any offensive player, but only once per game for that player and only once per inning for that team.
You get your speed out there for plays just like this. And it's going to get by. Iria is going over to third base, and the runners will stop there. So 2 on, tough play if it could have been made at all, and they didn't. And Japan again is going to get a great scoring opportunity here in the bottom of the second inning. Wait to see if they call it a base hit here.
Let's see if this might bounce off his foot here. No, it hits the dirt. That was close. It was a fair ball. Janssen coming in, doing a good job charging this ball, coming up with a good barehanded play, and he sets his feet, which was he recognized he had time to set his feet to make a throw. It just happened to be mishandled over there by Bukon at first base.
And it's a straight error charged on the first baseman. So 2 in scoring position and nobody out. And back to the top of the order. Here is Osaka, who flied out to center field his first time up. Good heads-up base running by Motichi, who's on at second base. Give Japan another opportunity. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Japan getting their runs in the first inning. 1 on a fielder's choice and 2 on a single. Popped up, tough play, diving, not quite. Jair Janssen over there at third base gave it a try. It's about a half a step away.
Well, great effort by Janssen, great effort by Habat at home plate, and just can't come up with it. And I'm glad Habat jumped out of the way to try to avoid that collision over there in foul territory.
And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Uniforms provided by Little League for all of the teams. They also get shoes bats are provided. If the players have at least one apiece here before they leave. That ball's a gapper and going to go all the way to the wall. It will score one. It will score two. Going on to third base. Tried a little too hard on that one. On a real good relay through the shortstop Janssen to record the out at third base. So a double for Osaka, 2 RBIs, and he's out trying to extend it.
Well, first of all, for Osaka, staying with this pitch, breaking ball away. A lot of times as hitters, we try to pull that ball because it is an off speed, but he doesn't. He stays back with his timing, and this was an excellent relay by Curacao. Osaka trying to extend that double into a triple, but Curacao doing an excellent job getting that ball in from the outfield quickly, and a good strong relay and a good throw to third base.
So the first out recorded, bases are cleaned off, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle. Oyama, who had a triple and would score his first time up, follows that one up with a single. And Japan's not only pitching it today, but their bats have come alive. That is their 6th hit, 5 runs on 6 hits in the ball game. The runner at first and 1 away.
You can see even Japanese fans and all fans of alike, looking at the programs, following these teams. There's so many times that fans, when they come to the Little League World Series, whether they're from the area in which their team or not, fans just come, doesn't matter, just to watch, and they seem to embrace a team and they start following them.
No te vayas, no se hace cambio, ¿ok? No se van, nada no pasa, ¿ok? Botella otro llega, va mano, bien mano, vamos, va primero.
So a pitching change is going to be made here as Japan's first 2 hitters are already 3 for 4, a single, double, and a triple. And they lead it.
Right here.
Meeting mas speed din kaya style 4G plus with special apps plus mas posibilidad network social video streaming ahora mi que anytime anywhere UTS 4G plus experiencia
UTS 4G plus
experiencia
UTS 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus yeah.
Does not count. So teams looking in each of these first games to get a win. It makes it a whole lot easier to advance rather than trying to come out of the so-called losers bracket.
Yeah, a lot of the reason being is also because there's that pitch count rule that exists. So you try to save pitches, and we see a new pitcher here for Curacao and Bucant, who's at first base, now moves to the pitcher's mound. And the one thing about Curacao, the coaches have said they feel fortunate to have 8 or 9 people that they feel confident can take the mound at any given time.
So Bucant will come on to do the pitching with a runner at first and right by the calves of his legs on that one. So his first pitch, Kiyomiya delivers a single. And there are runners now at first and second base. And Japan really right now unstoppable. If it's a strike, they're hitting it. The runners on at first and second. The only out recorded on the 8-6-5 relay throw to third base. They got Osaka. Ishida had a single. He scored his first time up. The Hideki Matsui fan. The left-hander. That's going to get away.
Hit the batter. You get first.
You heard the home plate umpire. That's a hit batter. So Ishida's on, hit by a pitch. That's going to load the bases for Japan here in the second inning.
We look at this pitch. Umpire got it right. It hit him off the front foot right there. You see that stride right there? And back foot. I'm sorry. I thought they hit the front one, but that hits the back one. Yep, it definitely got him. And that's what's great. I mean, you know, obviously the call was right, but that's wonderful thing about Little League. They do have instant replay, and that's a play that could have been looked at had the manager on Curacao chosen to look at it. But great thing about here at the Little League World Series.
And now the bases are loaded for Japan. They already have the 5-0 lead in the ball game. Oshima at the plate. Their center fielder popped out his first time up. Tsunoshima, it's a big chance to open the floodgates here in just the second inning. And a swing and a miss off the lefty's delivery. We won't go through all the intricacies of the replay, but as Nomar said, it certainly is available, and each manager gets to have 2 challenges that do not hold up.
2 unsuccessful
challenges. That pitch is in there through the 6-inning regulation game. Then if you go into extra innings, you get another challenge. If you challenge and you are upheld on your challenge, then you can go on and on and on and on. But we don't see a lot of it. Not a lot of replay. They're always looking at it in the replay booth anyway, and the umpires generally get it right. That's going to be outside. Bases loaded, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Japan trying to add to their 5-0 lead and kick it off with a big offensive and pitching effort here in their first game of this Little League World Series. This particular Little League, the 3rd time that they've appeared for Japan here in Williamsport. Ball's going to get away. And again, that new rule, there will be an advance here. The runner's out, though, because first base was occupied. The ball gets by. Probably a pass ball on that. And Oyama scores from third base. And Japan takes a 6-0 lead, but record the out on Oshima.
That was a good breaking ball here that unfortunately Habat can't handle. Good pitch by Bukant there, and gets a swing and a miss.
They're calling it a pass ball. Could have been caught. It'll move 1 run in and the other runners to second and third base. So 2 in scoring position. There are, however, 2 down now. Asada takes a look at it, and it missed for a ball. And Takahashi is going to get his first at bat. Takahashi is hitting in the spot for Asada. He came on to play defensively as Japan's looking to get some of their bench players into the ball game early. And the pitch is taken outside. Takahashi with a base hit to pick up a couple of RBIs. Left-hander's 2-0 delivery. That's going to be outside, and the count goes to 3-0.
And you mentioned about Takahashi getting his first at-bat here, and you'll see a lot of movement in the Little League World Series. What I mean by movement is players coming in and out of the game, because every player must play at least 3 consecutive defensive outs and must complete at least 1 at-bat. So there are mandatory playing rules.
3-0 delivery. That is there for a strike. There are a lot of substitutions in the international division when compared to the U.S. division, because generally the rosters on these international teams are larger. There are 14 players on each of these 2 teams, Curacao and Japan. Some of the U.S. rosters are going to be down to a dozen. That'll be outside, ball 4, and that's going to load the bases.
Right, and you said that. I mean, those teams with 13 or 14 eligible players, there's that mandatory rule that I had just mentioned about every player must play at least 3 consecutive defensive outs. But if the team has 12 or fewer eligible players in uniform, every player must play at least 6 consecutive defensive outs and must complete at least 1 at-bat.
And here's another one of the players who's been in defensively. Hiromi's going to get his first at-bat with the bases loaded and 2 down. So this is a big out needed by Curacao, with Japan already on top 6-0. 6 runs on 7 hits. to get this out here. This is the 9th batter for Japan to come to the plate in the 2nd inning. They sent 7 in the 1st and 9 so far here in the 2nd. 1-0 delivered to him, and a ground ball up the middle, snag, and the play made to first base to record the out. And right now the biggest defensive play of the game right there. Wilcock getting it on the mound on a one-hopper.
Sometimes you just have to stick the glove up to protect yourself. Comes up with a great play, go to first, finishes the inning.
Bij Curaçao North Jazz Festival com o Chippy. Para cada single que você usa for o Chippy, você recebe automaticamente lot digital para participar em rifa pagana. Primeiro prêmio dá all-inclusive stay na Princess Beach para 2 pessoas, mais 2 entradas para North Jazz para tur 12 noites e 250 florinhos na consumo durante o festival. Segundo e terceiro prêmio dá 2 entradas para Jazz Festival plus 125 florinhos na consumo. Se é grátis a quantidade de lote que você tem, você manda SMS com a palavra Chippy na 7777. Campanha da bala do Teco 29 de agosto. Banco Curaçao North Jazz com Chippy.
Same with Maxime and Dan. We're going to talk about balance. Balance is so important at the plate or on the mound. This is our balance point. So it's when the front leg gets up to its highest point, then everything goes in one motion to home plate. Watch as Maxime does it right here. It's a great drill, get to balance, and then everything stays on line right to where you're playing catch. You try to land that front foot right on the line. Watch Dan will get to his balance point, and then right towards Maxime. The key with this one, when you get to your balance point, make sure your arms and your legs are moving at the exact same speed. That balance point is like a checkpoint in a pitcher's delivery down towards home plate. Good job, fellas.
And it was an excellent job, Kyle, showing how doing it down the line. And Kiyomiya does that with every single pitch. He has that pause, hits his balance point, has that line straight to home plate, and throws an awful lot of strikes.
You see the 5 strikeouts he has recorded, thrown 30 pitches in the game. And really, for Curaçao right now, it's how to get somebody on base to get this thing started against him, as he is just as dominant as we thought he was going to be coming into this opening game of the Little League World Series with Japan on top. Yeah, here Janssen will get his first at bat in the ball game. He's batting in the 8th spot. And the pitch will be outside for a ball. He actually threw a couple out of the strike zone in that last inning. Curaçao's first couple of hitters tried to wait a little bit. And that's a strike on the outside corner. It is effortless, that delivery.
I mean, especially like we just saw, when he gets that balance point, like I said, most pitchers use a windup to gain momentum and a little bit more power behind their pitches, and they're still balanced, but man, right from the stretch.
Not any easier to bunt either. Tried to put the bat on that, and Janssen couldn't line it up. So 1 ball, 2 strike count. 5 strikeouts recorded so far, and that'll be fouled away. It's one of the things you got to do in this situation is choke up a little bit, and that's exactly what he did. Got to that 2 strike count, just trying to get that bat out there.
Why not? Maybe I wonder if these Curacao batters might be thinking about that early on, because here's a guy on the hill who throws so hard. All I need to do is make contact. Let him supply the power.
Yeah, he will do that. Outfield very shallow. And that will be taken outside for a ball. So he works him. With a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Janssen, only 4'11", 119 pounders, 12 years old.
Ball.
Inside. A good eye on him. You see what, as a pitcher, he does. When he gets behind in the count, he tends to drop off a little bit on that big fastball, just trying to throw a strike. It's still hard. Foul back, and it'll hold the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And they're at 3-2, like you said. Going, okay, maybe I'll take a little bit off of it, but a little bit off at 76.
It's as hard as anybody else throws in this Little League World Series. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Janssen will take it, and he's drawn a walk. And he applauds himself as he should. So the leadoff man on for Curacao. Little League is the world's largest organized youth sports program, with more than 2.5 million kids playing in all 50 states and 80 other countries. For more information, stats, or stories, or to learn how to start a Little League baseball and softball program in your community, visit www.littleleague.org. This is, as we said, the 66th edition of the Little League World Series. Game number 1 opening up here in the first day with 4 games on tap. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. First at bat here. This is the first time through the lineup for the Curacao kids. The team from Japan, all of them have already had 2 at bats. Pops away, and the runner will move up to second base. You can understand why sometimes catcher's going to have a hard time hanging on to this baseball.
Well, the catcher, I mean, the way he throws with that velocity, he got fortunate there, I think, for the catcher, that the ball hit the batter's bat. Once it hit the ground, it popped up and hit the batter's bat and fell back in front of him. But making sure his equipment, I mean, like we said, they all get brand new gear, so even the equipment takes some time to break in as well. So get that strap, that snap back on the back of that helmet.
Agunda waiting at the plate with a 1-ball, 1-strike count and a runner on at second base. Curacao an opportunity to get a run in here, get something on the board and get it started. 1-1 delivery, and on the outside corner for a strike.
It's one thing to look for a pitch that's throwing that hard, but he's also painting the corners as well with that fastball. He's not really throwing too many right down the middle. He's making these Curacao hitters work.
Watching that one, and he's gone. Got the bat on it, a couple to foul off, but that's all he could do, and 1 away in the inning. There you see our international bracket and the teams involved. Chinese Taipei, Germany, Canada, Mexico, Uganda, Panama, with those last 2 sets playing on Friday. Then they move to the winners and losers playing against one another. And then on, if you lose 2 games, of course, you will play a 3rd game, but would no longer be in the running to move on for a chance at the Little League World Series title. Runner on at second base and 1 away here in the 3rd inning. Foul tipped right into the mitt. This is going to be the first time at bat for Sade Rafalea as he comes off the bench to play and works in the leadoff spot.
Did he go?
Checking at first, did he go around? And the answer is nope. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, we have another look. I think he held up there. Check the swing. Good job.
Oh, right off the helmet.
Hey, whoa, wait, take a minute. Let me hold you back.
Immediately got up. And Rafaela is down at first base with the pitcher apologizing to the Curacao manager, and now heading over towards first base as well. That is really scary with someone throwing as hard as Kiyomi can throw.
You see Kiyomiya over there apologizing to him and making sure, not only just apologizing, but making sure he's okay. But listen to this.
That is scary. Look where that hit.
Top of his helmet. That's how Rafaela got up pretty quick. He got up right away. And I mean, what a tough kid. And that ball, it showed at 99 miles per hour was the equivalent on that pitch. Took that pitch, went down, but looks like everything is okay.
And swing and a miss on that one. Where's that? Have we got that old helmet up here somewhere? Right? No. That's one of them right there.
Right.
I'm going to show you. Thank goodness for the equipment changes. You would have been in real trouble on a pitch like that where you were wearing something that went around your ears.
Yeah, that would have just been that one. You saw that one hit the top of the head, and you can see now the way these helmets now, what they've done. I mean, there's a lot of padding in there, and they've done an awful lot. I mean, these companies such as Easton and numerous companies, I mean, they do a lot of research and studying and trying to protect players as best they can, especially in the head area and the advancement in these helmets. And I'm sure this is a big part why he was able to get up so quickly and is standing on first base.
Big difference.
Yeah.
This was 1948 when Omar first broke into Major League Baseball. This is Nomar. As we brought this up, he was...
Yeah. Could have used one of these newer helmets. You're right. Thanks.
But thank goodness. Yeah, that's a big difference. And right there, you saw the difference that it makes in a game when somebody gets hurt like that. Back in, oh gosh, why did we bring that up?
Interesting there. Oh, okay. There you go.
The Orioles.
I think that was, I think we have the uniform you wore here and the helmet. All right.
That's in mothballs. Much like its owner. We're going to get changes here, as both of these managers are trying to get their players into the ball game and also protect their pitchers. So we're going to get a pitching change. We'll check and see what the pitch count was. Clearly the move here, with Japan leading at 6-0, is to save their starter for another day.
At Exxon and Mobil.
Meeting mas speed din kaya style 4G plus with special apps plus mas posibilidad network social video streaming key ora mi que anytime anywhere UTS 4G plus experiencia
UTS 4G plus
experiencia
UTS 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus yeah.
beginning for him in this Little League World Series.
I mean, with 7 strikeouts and just 48 pitches, and this is why they're saving him. I mean, there's pitch count rules here in Little League World Series, and you can see right there that 36 to 50 pitch range. He only needs 2 days of rest, and you can see anything 1 pitch over that, he needs 3 days of rest. And if they happen to win this game, the next game for the winner will be on Sunday, which 2 days rest, he can come back and pitch on that day. Whereas, and then when you look at the team that may not win this team, they only, they come back and play 1 day, but only, on Saturday, I'm sorry.
Yeah, a lot of decisions made in this Little League World Series surrounding that pitching rule, obviously implemented by Little League Baseball years ago in order to protect the pitchers. And the 2006 is when the International League Board of Directors instituted the pitch count regulations in order to save, hopefully, some arms. So Osaka is now on the mound. Huerta has come on as the pinch runner at second base for Curaçao. There are 2 down, 1 on. And another RBI chance here if they can pick up a base hit. Riley Sanventura at the plate was a strikeout victim his first time up. 7 strikeouts for Japan's starter in this ballgame. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. And on the outside corner for a strike. A walk and a hit batter have produced the base runners in this ballgame. Osaka throws some pretty good giddy up himself here. Will miss up high with that, and the count goes to 3-1.
Yeah, he may not be as big as Kiyomiya, but he definitely has a live arm as well.
Pitchers once removed in a game cannot come back to pitch. This kind of opens the door for Curaçao. Remember, we're playing a 6-inning game. But the way these teams go, you get started in an inning, it is not unusual to see a 4, 5, or 6-run inning. Ball starts to get thrown around a little bit. Somebody gets a little wild, couple of base hits, and suddenly a game that looked far separated isn't anymore. Swung out and missed. He got him. So the strikeout retired. Ventura retired. 2 are left on base. It remains Japan 6, Curaçao nothing.
By Curaçao Norse Jazz Festival com Bochipi. Para cada single florinho que você usa for de Bochipi, você recebe automaticamente lot digital para participar em rifa pagana. Primeiro prêmio é all-inclusive stay na Princess Beach para 2 pessoas, mais 2 entradas para Norse Jazz para 12 noites e 250 florinhos na consumo durante o festival. Segundo e terceiro prêmio dá 2 entradas para Jazz Festival plus 125 florinhos na consumo. Se é grátis a quantidade de lote que você tem, você manda SMS com a palavra Chippy na 7777. Campanha da bala do Teco 29 de agosto. Banco Curaçao Norse Jazz com Chippy.
And a beautiful day here at baseball coming your way. Sunday night, it'll be the Red Sox in the Bronx to take on the Yankees, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Then on Monday at 10 on ESPN2. Another great division rivalry determining the #1 spot in the West, the Giants and the Dodgers. Sports Center to be seen in San Francisco and LA in those markets. Sunday night baseball presented by Taco Bell. Monday night presented by USAA. Scheduled starter in the ball game for the Yankees, Hiroki Kuroda. There you see the numbers that he put up last start against Texas, and he'll be starting on Sunday against the Red Sox.
And Hiroki actually met a team from Japan last year, so which is great. The team from Japan actually visited, went out to California to play it in a small little series out there, and there's that picture of Hiroki with both the teams. And I had the luxury of being a teammate of Hiroki Kuroda, and what a great teammate he was. Even despite, you have that language barrier in between, obviously him speaking Japanese, but it doesn't matter. And it's a lot like these kids here. You see all these kids when they get together at the Grove, the language barrier is gone, and they have so much fun with each other. It doesn't matter whether they speak the same language or not. And I had a great time playing with Hiroki.
That is, here at the Little League World Series, oftentimes appropriately said that equally important to what goes on the field, maybe more important, is what goes on off. The chance for these kids to meet with one another. They stay in the Grove. They're on their own there with the aunts and uncles system Little League has, with the parents who don't stay with the kids. They come visit, but they stay outside. So the kids really get a chance to be together. And that ball will be fouled off.
And this is what's great. I mean, here's the Grove. You have a look. They have their own swimming pool. They have their own cafeteria where they get to eat. They mingle together. And a game room where there's air hockey, video games, ping pong tables. Great ping pong tables there that everybody looks forward to playing with each other.
More pizza eaten per pound than any other where in the world.
I tell you, when I look at just this wonderful facility, and obviously it's all volunteers that come in and help and keep these fields so immaculate and pristine as well. But I just look at the Grove. It's like one of the coolest summer camps put on in a big league spring training facility, with all these beautiful fields, and what a great environment.
That's going to be to second base, and it will be hauled in. Riley Ventura going back will get that, and one away. Little League is the world's largest organized youth sports program. There are more than 2.5 million kids playing in 50 states and 80 other countries. For more information, stats, or stories, learn how to start a Little League baseball and softball program in your community. Go to littleleague.org. Japan still trying to get a number of its players in. Ishizuka goes to third, and a real fine play. Jair Johnson over there at third base gets it.
Wow. That was nice. Johnson staying with this ball. This ball looked like it had a little bit of spin on it because hitter got jammed a little bit. That ball was tailing away from Johnson over there at third base, tailing to his right. And he stays with that ball and then gets to his feet, gets his feet set, and makes a good throw to first base.
Real good play to record the second out of the inning. So the left-hander who came on in relief, trying to set down this Japan team. Osaka, top of the order, has doubled and flied out in center field. And the pitch will be taken away.
Hold the ball.
Japan, first two innings, 7 to the plate in the first inning. They batted around in the second. Now is a chance for Kurosawa to retire this side 1-2-3 and give themselves an opportunity at the plate. We're in the bottom of the third inning of our 6-inning game. It's going to miss inside.
Well, a lot of times in baseball, you see momentum shifts throughout a game, and here's an opportunity for Kurosawa. You get, Japan, their ace, because of the pitch count, is out of the game, and if you can shut them down without any run, just can boost your confidence and try to get you back in the dugout to try to tackle the lead that Japan has right now.
And Bacot, the pitcher, is doing a good job. He's throwing strikes, getting some outs.
Good defensive plays behind him.
Yep. 3 ball, 1 strike count with 2 down. And he gets that one in there and takes the count to 3-2 on Osaka. Japan has made 12 championship game appearances. History of Little League Baseball in Japan well known by those in this country who follow the Little League. They've won 7 titles. And a swing and a miss, and that's exactly what Bacot did. He retired the side in order. So now it's up to the bats for the team representing the Caribbean from Curaçao. 6-0 Japan.
meeting mas speed din kaya style 4G plus ku special apps plus mas posibilidad network sosial video streaming ki ora mi ke anytime anywhere UTS 4G plus experiencia
UTS 4G plus
experiencia
UTS 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus yeah.
Japan's got the lead in game one of this Little League World Series, 6-0. The kids from Curacao looking for a comeback. Nation that has produced on the island 12 Major League players who were born in Curacao, 5 who are active. Andrew Jones has been a great bench job this year. Jared Jurgens, Roger Bernardino playing with that big upstart Washington team, Simmons and Jansen for the Dodgers. Hensley Mullins, of course, names that have come out of the baseball played in Curacao.
Yeah, Mullins is the first player from Curacao to play in major leagues. And then their manager, Edmir Chirino there, his father was actually Andrew Jones's first Little League coach. So Andrew Jones played for this Little League from Bariba in Curacao.
And has stayed in touch with Curaçao's Little League program. Each time they come here to Williamsport, has generally in some way contacted the team and wished them well. Japan with a 6-0 lead. We go to the 4th inning, a 6-inning ball game, of course. Jansen at the plate. Osaka, second pitcher for Japan. And that is in there for a strike. Osaka came on and got the strikeout of the one batter that he faced in the last inning. Michelin Jansen, the shortstop for Curacao. And the fastball is going to miss outside. The pitching of Japan and a couple of real good offensive first 2 innings so far. The story in this ball game with Curacao just unable to get to Kiyayane, the starter, who struck out 7. That's going to miss outside, and the count will go to 2-1. Got a big crowd on hand today for the opening ceremonies. They were held here at Volunteer Stadium. Down to third base, a couple of hops. Oyama makes the play and records the out. Jansen first out in the 4th inning. A lot of the youngsters really look forward. They had a big parade last night downtown. It lasts about 3 hours of floats in the works and bands. Then today, the opening ceremonies here at Volunteer, where all of the teams get to parade around the field and then disperse and get ready to go.
They all walk in with balloons, and when they kick things off, they all release them up into the air.
Koeman, the starting pitcher for Curacao, a strikeout victim and the only at bat he has had. That ball is going to go towards the gap. Almost caught by Hirano. It'll get away, and that is going to be a 2-bagger. So a double with 1 away in the 4th inning.
Well, Curacao trying to get something started here. Koeman coming up with a nice line drive hit to right field. Almost caught out there by Hirano. And just can't come up with it just off the tip of his glove. Great effort out there in right field. Maybe this can get Curacao going here. The first hit in the game.
4th inning, 1 down before they get their first hit of the ball game. Special pinch runner. Lacunda will come on to run. Lacunda's running at second base. 1 down. And Barranco will stand in. And the fastball is there for a strike. Grounded out to first base. in the only at-bat he has had in the ballgame. Good fastball. May have been a little bit outside, but too tough to take. 0-2. Bronco was asked about his superstitions by our great staff for doing research work. Said, I don't have any. I believe in myself.
I'm the same way. What's so funny?
Of the Harbor, Strasburg. You got to have some of that. You're going to succeed. And the count goes to 1-2. Runner on at second, 1 out. And that is going to miss away. A lot of these youngsters start playing ball early in the Caribbean. He was 4 years old, he said, when he first started. Baseball, obviously, in Curacao, very big. The youngsters have a great time playing, have great weather, obviously, to play in, and great support. Strikeout right there, recorded, 2 down. Second strikeout Osaka's had. 2 away, runner still at second base. Both these teams have looked to the bench already. Bukan, who's doing the pitching, will come on to hit. 2 down. First at bat. Two away, 1 on. Fastball is right there.
Well, Bukan was able to shut down Japan 1-2-3. That last inning had a good shutdown inning. So now here he is with an opportunity to put the first runs on the board for Curacao.
And that will miss outside. Sometimes when folks think of Little League Baseball, you think about the ball being thrown around and not games out of control a little bit. You see the difference here at the Little League World Series with the quality of these players. You don't see that very often where the game gets out of control, and you see the control that all of these pitchers have displayed, and you'll continue to see that throughout the Little League World Series. There won't be a lot of wild pitches. There won't be a lot of walks. These kids can throw strikes.
It goes back to what we talked about, right? Playing catch. How do you get better in this game? Play catch, because that's what pitching is, right? Being able to play catch with your catcher.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. So a couple of strikeouts in the inning for Osaka. He's got 3 in the ball game. Runner left on at second base.
Well, we talked about throwing those strikes. High fastball up in the zone and adds another one and closes out the inning.
Bij Curaçao North Jazz Festival com o Chippy. Para cada single florinho buhusa for o Chippy, você recebe automaticamente lot digital para participar em rifa pagana. Primeiro prêmio dá all-inclusive stay na Princess Beach para 2 pessoas, mais 2 entradas para North Jazz para 12 noites e 250 florinhos na consumo durante o festival. Segundo e terceiro prêmio dá 2 entradas para Jazz Festival plus 125 florinhos na consumo. É grátis e candidato em lote com botim. Você manda SMS com a palavra Chippy na 7777. Campanha da bala do até 29 de agosto. Van Curaçao North Jazz com Chippy.
Japan has had both in this ball game, and they've got the 6-0 lead.
swinging the bats early in this game, swinging the bats, being aggressive. Their pitchers have been throwing strikes, playing defense behind them, and that's why they have the lead.
So a 6-0 lead for Japan in the opener of our Little League World Series. And now time beginning to run out for Curaçao. Again, they've got to retire Japan here and not give up anymore. Big high hopper. Janssen's got it, makes the nice play. Janssen. Oyama's retired, one away here in the 4th inning.
And a high hopper right off the front of home plate, and Janssen going up there and getting it. And once again, we've seen a lot of these infielders doing an excellent job when they get that ground ball and when they feel that they're getting their feet set, they're getting their shoulders square to the target in which they want to throw the ball and making some fine throws.
That one right on the money. Japan, last 5 have been retired in a row, shutting down that offense that came through in the 1st inning with 3 more in the 2nd. 6 runs, 7 hits for Japan, only 1 hit on the board for Curaçao, and 10 strikeouts have been recorded by the 2 pitchers from Japan so far in the ballgame. Kiyoyama was the starter. He has singled, reached on the fielder's choice, scored a run in the ballgame, and picked up an RBI. Pitch will be taken away. This is the pitcher who they pulled out in order to protect him to be able to pitch their next game if they so desire. He had 7 strikeouts in the 2 2/3 innings that he worked in the game, and will take the pitch outside, 3-1. So that's a pretty good line.
That's an excellent line, especially coming from a guy who stands 6 foot 206, and I say that because his other favorite sport is rugby. I mean, his father is a rugby coach, and so I'm sure his father is going, great, I got a guy who's 6 foot 206 and can coach him in rugby.
And he does play rugby.
Yes.
And that is taken inside for a ball. So Kiyoyama will be on with a 1-out walk here in the 4th inning. Take a look at the other games that are going to be played today. It will be California, Petaluma taking on Fairfield, Connecticut. That'll be 3 Eastern, ESPN. 5 Eastern, ESPN2 will be back with Chinese Taipei in Germany. And tonight, 8 o'clock, Tennessee, Nebraska get it on. That'll be 8 on ESPN. Little League World Series. Lose 2 and you're out of the running for the championship. Every team is guaranteed to play 3 games. However, we're at Volunteer Stadium, Lamity Stadium, just up the hill. They're taking a look at right there.
And I was looking at that California team. I mean, a team from out west has won 3 of the last 4 Little League World Series.
We'll get a pitching change with Japan leading it by a score of 6-0. Curaçao, again, they're trying to protect their pitchers for their next game as well. We'll be right back.
In a world where breakfast has become boring and tasty.
Meeting mas speed din kaya style 4G plus with special apps plus mas posibilidad network social video streaming ora me que anytime anywhere UTS 4G plus experiencia
UTS 4G plus
experiencia
UTS 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus yeah.
Curacao by a score of 6-0. We'll get the pitching change here. Carolina is going to come on to do the pitching as they preserved Buhard, who was pitching. He can now go in the next game. He threw only 33 pitches, so only 1 day off needed. And the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Yoshida at the plate. He has been hit by a pitch, singled, and scored a run. Runner on at first base and 1 out. 13-year-old Yankee fan on the mound.
And we can see Boucant, what he's done, like we mentioned, just 33 pitches, which allows him to come back and pitch in just 1 day's rest.
That one bounces. It'll be a wild pitch. Kiyomiya moves up to second base. Japan gets another in scoring position with 1 away. 6-inning game. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Curacao cannot afford to see Japan get any more on the board here. Right to third, hauled in, and no chance to get 2. He just went from the mound to play at third base and puts the glove to work. Come on with a nice catch.
Boy, man, this is such a great angle right here. This ball was a rocket. And he just throws that glove up there, reaches for it, and comes up with a nice play.
That's obviously not only a hit save, but a run saved, as the runner from second would have scored easily if that gets by him. Miyashita will come on, and this is going to be the first time that he's had a chance at the plate. Takoto Miyashita with a runner on at second and 2 down. And he'll take the strike on the outside corner. Six runs, 7 hits. Japan only 1 hit on the board so far for Curacao. And the pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carolina trying to hold Japan right here. The young number 3 out there for Curacao. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball. Outside corner strike.
Good pitch right there by Carolina on the outside corner.
Look at backdoor slide.
Yeah, it was. It started off way out of the zone, and it catches the outside part of the plate.
Good pitch. 1-2 fouled off the catcher.
Here you go. Hold the ball. Here you go.
Good job moving the ball game along today by our home plate umpire. Dan Campanolo's kept the kids moving. Got them on the field, got them in position, and been in charge of the game. Tried that breaking ball again. That time it wouldn't do anything, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
I mean, it's a good time for it. You got a 1-2 count. Why not? I've already been able to show you I can throw it.
And then a heater. Taking care of business. Gets the strikeout. So no runs, no hits. 1 left on at second. Curaçao's bats coming up in the 5th, trailing Japan 6-0.
By Curaçao North Jazz Festival com Bochipi. Para cada 5 florinhos buhusa for de Bochipi, você recebe automaticamente lot digital para participar em rifa pagana. Primeiro prêmio dá all-inclusive stay na Princess Beach para 2 pessoas, mais 2 entradas para North Jazz para tur 12 noites e 250 florinhos na consumo durante o festival. Segundo e terceiro prêmio dá 2 entradas para Jazz Festival plus 125 florinhos na consumo. Se é grátis a quantidade de lote que você tem, você manda SMS com a palavra Chippy na 7777. Campanha da bala do Teco 29 de agosto. Banco Curaçao North Jazz com Chippy.
ESPN's coverage of the 2012 Little League World Series is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great! And in part by Subway. At Subway, you're in charge. Get your favorite subs made exactly the way you want. Subway, eat fresh.
See that young man smiling on the right? Jason Varitek. 1976. No, 1984. Jason Varitek right there. He's going to be honored by Little League at their breakfast.
There he is.
There was the cord wasn't attached when he was practicing.
Right, he was.
Only kidding, Jason. So Jason Varitek will be here to be honored by Little League. Japan's got the 6-0 lead in the ball game. Carolina will stay on to do the pitching for Japan. They have shut him down here with only one hit fouled away. Osaka on the mound for Japan. Carolina at the plate, getting his first at bat. Oh, on delivery to him. And that's what most of them have been. Right on the money for strikes. Everybody's got to play for 3 outs and get an at bat here in this ball game because of the 14 players on each roster. And in every game, all the kids get in for at least 1 at bat and 3 outs. With the limited rosters, those who have fewer players, it's an at bat and 6 outs in the field. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Pretty good cut on that. Foul it right straight back.
Good job staying alive on that pitch. I mean, he's behind in the count. 1 and 2 was a tough pitch. It was up in the strike zone. Fouled it off to stay alive.
Choke up a little bit. Here's the 1-2 delivery. And a swing and a miss. Kept that ball away. 1 down.
Osaka's done an excellent job since he's come to the ball game, really pounding that outer part of the strike zone. And once again, here he gets a 3rd strike on the outer half.
Oato will come to the plate. I'm just looking at that's 6 batters faced, and he struck out 4. Has given up the lone hit, the double, but that's all. This will be the first at bat, and Oato will take the pitch away. Oate with a 1-0 and a swing and a miss. And another fastball.
Another fastball away once again. I mean, we saw him how he was down in the outer half on right-handed hitters. We got a lefty up there and still staying on the outer half of the plate.
Real good control by Osaka. And that pitch will be taken outside.
And I love watching the Japanese catchers, how they frame that. Even that ball way outside, he's still trying to get that call, bringing that ball back in. I mean, they are so fundamentally sound.
2 on delivery. And then he did hold it again, and it will miss just a little bit outside. Here's the 3-1. That is there. And the count will go to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Take a look at Osaka on the mound. He's not even listed by their team as one of the top 3 pitchers. How scary is that for opponents? He gets the strikeout 2 in the inning and 5 in the ballgame.
I mean, that would be scary. I mean, like you said, Osaka doing an excellent job since he's come in here. And they believe Ishida. We saw their starter with Kiyomiya, and here's Osaka once again on that outer half. That ball tailed away. I think they were looking for that ball on the inner half, but he has such nice tailing movement on that fastball. Goes on the outer half, and he gets the strikeout.
12 strikeouts today have been recorded by the pitchers from Japan, and they have been, a lot of them, swinging strikes. I mean, they've been in there. 2 down, nobody on. That ball in the air to center. They were playing it shallow. Toronto right on the money to hold that one in a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom half of the fifth coming up. Japan leading it by a score of 6-0.
Why don't we play a game of hide and seek?
Now?
Yeah, go hide.
Meeting mas speed din kaya style 4G plus ku special apps plus mas posibilidad network sosial video streaming ki ora mi ke anytime anywhere UTS 4G plus experiencia
UTS 4G plus
experiencia
UTS 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus 4G plus yeah.
Those were the results for this Little League program that is here right now for the third time. Lost one championship game, won another, and a common denominator.
Yoichi Kubo, the manager for Japan, was the manager for both of those teams. Is here back for a third time. And like you said, able to bring home a championship. And then the other one against, was it Warner Robins, Georgia, with that walk-off, that dramatic walk-off back in 2007. Extra innings, and even then the manager says a pitcher made the right pitch, he just did a good job hitting it.
And Japan batting as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Kubo, by the way, is 72 years old and has been involved for 44 years coaching Little League Baseball. And the breaking ball will be chopped foul outside of first base. This is the first at bat Hidaka's had. Shoto Hidaka, as Japan gets all of their people in defensively and at the plate, as this could be the final half inning for them with that 6-0 lead. 6-inning ball game. And back into the screen.
Here you go.
Great weather expected for the remainder of the day here. Temperatures up around that 80, 82 degree mark for the day, and only a few high clouds have moved in. Pitch will be taken outside. It was actually cool last night, and this morning just absolutely perfect to start this Little League World Series.
Ball.
Takes it and just missed. A little bit low with the delivery. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 delivery towards the hole and a base hit. Well, in his first at bat of the ball game, Hidaka delivers a single, and here in the 5th inning, Japan gets a leadoff man on with her 8th hit of the ball game. Hirano will come up. He's had 1 at bat in the ball game. Hirano grounded out, a hard ground ball back to the mound, looking for a pinch runner, a special pinch runner, I think, here for Japan over at first base.
It's tough to keep up, isn't it, with all these substitutions, guys coming in, the pinch runner, so I bet somebody's following it.
You're telling me. That's why I have my left-hand man here.
Exactly.
Osana will come on to do the pinch running, special pinch runner. The 1 per inning rule we talked about teams are allowed to have. Japan looking to add to that 6-0 lead. And it takes the pitch outside. We've had no attempted steals in this game. 9 hits combined, with 8 of those going to Japan. Japan's pitchers in 5 innings have given up only 1 hit and have struck out 12. 1 walk surrendered in the game and 1 hit batter. That is dominating pitching for this Japanese Little League team.
Man, they came out aggressive in the first couple innings and put some runs on the board as well, offensively.
7 to the plate in the first inning. They scored 3. They batted around in the second inning, and they scored 3 more. And that will be taken inside. In fact, that base hit here to lead off the 5th inning, that's the first hit they've had since the second inning. All of their hits have been recorded in innings 1 and 2. Asada at first base, 3-1 delivery. And there are going to be 2 on the walk. 2 on and nobody out. And a reminder, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series will head to Michigan, where points leader Jimmy Johnson looks to pull away from the pack, while Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, and others need a win to make the chase. It's the Pure Michigan 400. Coverage will begin Sunday at noon on ESPN. Yeah, with runners on at first and second base. Ball's going to be popped up second.
Infield fly, batter's out.
You heard the infield fly rule there. Ventura puts it away in any event. And there's the first out, and runners stay where they are. Area retired on the pop out. Is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Players who go out of the ball game for a pinch hitter can come back in so long as they are at the same spot in the lineup. And that's what we're going to see here. Motegi started. He's 0 for 1. He reached on an error and scored in the only at bat that he had. Now he gets to come back into the ball game in the number 9 spot. 1 down. Bunting for a base hit and fouls it back.
Here you go.
Used to see a lot of that. We used to talk about the teams from Japan playing that fundamental baseball, small ball. Not anymore.
Yeah, no, they're well, because it looks like they're getting bigger as well, and they're swinging that bats. I mean, we've seen this team. We already heard about Kiyomiya. He can have how many home runs he had on the year.
Shortstop Janssen, he gets there, puts it away. So after the first 2 get on, Carolina's able to retire the next 2 batters from Japan, and there are 2 down.
Maybe they might think about maybe going a little bit back to that small ball, button moving guys over. But these guys can swing the bat, like we said. I mean, they make great contact. They have some power. They drive the ball. I mean, their first practice here, they hit like 25 home runs just in their practice.
And that's going to be a base hit into left field. It'll be knocked down. Rafaela, 1 run will cross, and it is a 7-0 lead. So Osaka and Japan continuing to put up runs. That'll be 7 runs on 9 hits.
That's what I'm talking about. The ability to square the ball up, to put the bat on the ball from Japan is impressive. I mean, that ball was way out of the strike zone. Look at him throw those hands, stay with that ball on the outer part, breaking ball way outside off the plate, and he's still able to barrel it up, get a single to left field, and get an RBI.
Special runner coming across to score. There's another base hit into left field. Rafaela will make the play to the plate. They got a shot. Great relay. Got him! Tremendous defensive play. Rafaela coming up with it in the outfield. Hit the cutoff man right on the button. Third baseman Kleiman made the relay to the plate. They got him. May have missed it on the first go-around, but he had the plate covered and came back with the glove.
Bij Curaçao North Sea Jazz Festival kubo Chippy. Para cada single florinho kubo husa for dibo Chippy, você recebe automaticamente lot digital para participar em rifa pagana. Primeiro prêmio tá all-inclusive stay na Princess Beach para 2 pessoas, mas 2 entradas para North Sea Jazz para tur 12 noites e 250 florinho na consumo durante o festival. Segundo e terceiro prêmio tá 2 entradas para Jazz Festival plus 125 florinho na consumo. É grátis e candidato de lot kubo ti. Por demanda SMS com a palavra Chippy na 7777. Campanha da Bale do Teco 29 de agosto. Van Curaçao North Sea Jazz com Chippy.
Japan leading it. A 7-0 lead, and let's take a look at our Kellogg's Frosted Flakes moments of the game.
It has to be Japan's pitching. I mean, Kiyomiya starting off the game, just coming out and just throwing fastball, throwing heat, and gets 3 strikeouts in the very first inning. And then you had Osaka coming in the game, and he too is pounding that strike zone, going on the outer half, up in the zones, not afraid to come in as well to keep hitters honest. And the result, Japan's in the lead, but you look at that. Look at their innings so far. You know, just 1 walk, awful lot of strikeouts there, and 12 strikeouts for both of those pitchers combined.
Great performance by Japan, by both pitchers and by the bats that came on so strong here. So Japan will look to wrap it up here and continue their dominance against Curaçao. They have won 11. And lost only 2. Curaçao has had great numbers at the Little League World Series, except against the teams from Japan. And understandably so, with the quality of those teams over the years that they have been here. Don't forget, coming up at 3 o'clock Eastern, they're getting set to go over at Lamade Stadium, Petaluma, California, taking on Fairfield, Connecticut in the U.S. brackets. There's a look. They're getting set to go momentarily. We'll wait for the finish of our game probably here. If this ends relatively quickly, they'll hold that one up for a minute or so. And for Japan, they would like to get it done in a hurry. Take a look at the international bracket. Game being played, Curaçao and Japan. You move along, winner plays winner, loser plays losers in the bracketing, and if 2 are lost, then you are no longer in contention for the Little League World Series title, but every team is guaranteed to play 3 games. And oftentimes the teams, especially in the losers brackets, if they are out, they will play other games. I don't know if our cameras can get a shot at the field that is being used right now for practicing, which is outside our left field wall down a bit. That they will play games where teams will just challenge one another over the course of the 2 weeks that they are here, just for the fun of it.
And that's what's great. I mean, we saw the Grove earlier. They challenge each other at the ping pong table and video games, and then they say, you know what, let's take this outside, let's go play a game. And by the way, the ping pong table is going to be there still, and we'll come back in there and finish off that game. I mean, what just a great environment.
They have a great time, and a lot of clubs do that because you're not going to play everybody that's here in a game. And the international teams obviously don't get a chance to play the U.S. team, so sometimes they'll do that just to say we played against a U.S. team, or the U.S. team to say we played against somebody from the international bracket. We've got a delay right here. There's a substitution issue that they are discussing. I'll tell you, earlier in the ball game, we've already had Japan bat out of order twice, but in each situation there was no challenge made. by Curacao. Didn't make a whole lot of difference really in the outcome of the ball game here so far, but it did happen. It's very hard unless coaches are keeping an eye obviously on the numbers, because you can't go by the names because you don't know the kids. So you got to go by the numbers and are they batting in the right place each time. And it's very easy as the game goes along. Sometimes one pitch at bats, you just don't see it. And that's happened twice here with Japan's kids getting to the plate.
And there oftentimes we miss it as well. We're missing things.
Don't tell people that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
You can't say that.
I'm sorry.
Plus, we did miss these two, by the way. So they're straightening out whatever the substitution problem is here. U.S. bracket looks like this, with the first game coming up. California, Connecticut, Tennessee, Nebraska, New Jersey, Texas, and Oregon, Indiana, with four of the teams playing today, and then the other four on Friday, tomorrow.
I'm looking at that Tennessee-Nebraska game. The reason it stands out to me, Tennessee, first time they've been here to the Little League World Series in 25 years. And Nebraska, first time a team from Nebraska has made it to the Little League World Series. So
that looks like it ought to be a bowl game.
Right, that's true.
Tennessee and Nebraska. The big offenses and big linesmen going against one another. And the kids, of course, from Uganda here, you're going to hear a lot of this story because it is a great one. As Nomar was talking about the fact they thought they were going to be here 2 years ago. They thought they were going to be here last year. In neither situation did they make it. And so here they are, finally, with a chance to play.
And notice that. Look at them practicing in their socks. I mean, you saw them with their smiles. You saw them noticing they're getting new gear. Each player you mentioned, every player here at who participated in the Little League World Series gets their own personal bat. So they were getting bats. The team gets 2 sets of catcher's equipment, and they get pairs of shoes. They get the uniform. And for Uganda, some of them with new shoes. I mean, what an amazing story. And some of them aren't used to playing in shoes out there or cleats. So when they went to go practice, they said, we're not comfortable in these shoes right now. So they decided to take them off, socks, barefoot, and that's how they practice.
And how about having grass on the field?
Yeah, they don't play on grass. It's always dirt fields, and it's just an amazing, amazing story. It truly is. And to see them come over here and play, and when baseball and Little League really started, it wasn't that long ago. It might have been in 2005, around that time when Little League really just started. Somebody brought Little League there to Uganda, into the area, and here they are in the Little League World Series. So.
And people from the United States very much involved in the development of baseball in Uganda. And we'll be telling you that story as we go along, and we'll have that ball game coming up here when Uganda gets in action tomorrow. So for Curacao, they've got 3 outs to work with, trailing 7-0. 6th inning. Final inning of our regulation play in this game is Japan as dominating as they were in the lead-up games that got them here, outscoring opponents 72-26. They've outscored the Caribbean region representative Curacao 7-0 so far, and they've continued to throw strikes.
Yeah, and it's Japan trying to extend a streak here that they have, 19 straight opening games in the Little League World Series where they've come out with a victory. So trying to make it 20 today.
1-2 delivery on the way, and got him. So there's one of the outs they needed here in the 6th inning, 1 down. Again, we remind you, as far as home visiting teams, that just happens to be a pick by random by Little League Baseball. As much as they can in all of these decisions, they are made so they are at random decisions, not taking into consideration. They do the coin flip for the home and away teams about a week ago to decide how they would line up in the first couple of days of play. Raleigh San Ventura up. Ventura's been a strikeout victim twice. That's 6 strikeouts Osaka's recorded since he's been in the ball game. We were oohing and ahhing about their starter, Kiyomiya, who struck out 7. Well, Osaka's almost reached his number. And as we said, not even listed as one of their top 3 pitchers. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That's what he's been doing in a 1-2 count.
He really has. I mean, he's really just going after hitters and pounding that strike zone, playing catch with his catcher.
And the 1-2. Center field. High sky, a lot of sun. Mishima goes back to get it, and there are 2 down. Ventura is retired. So 1 out left in this ball game. Japan leading at 7-0. The game up at Lamade Stadium. Scheduled to start first pitch 10 after. Petaluma, California against Fairfield, Connecticut. Coming up next here on ESPN. Barry Thorne, Omar Garcia-Parra here at Volunteer Stadium for the opener of this Little League World Series. There'll be big crowds on hand, especially with those teams from New Jersey, Connecticut involved who have fans who can get here relatively easily. For Curacao in this ball game, they have 3 ground ball outs, 2 balls hit in the air for outs, and 13 times they have been struck out. These kids are not used to that. This is a club, Curacao, that's had some offense. 2 down. That'll miss outside. Janssen, strikeout victim, and he's grounded out. As once again, Curacao will not have the answer to beating Japan, at least on this day. That will be down the line, will fall in for a base hit. Guerrano, the right fielder, took a look at first, but no chance there. So Janssen gets the hit, only the 2nd of the day for Curacao.
Well, Janssen just throwing the barrel at this ball up in the zone. Gets on top of it as well. We saw Japan hitters doing this, and here's a great example. Just throwing the barrel, trusting those hands. Doesn't try to pull that ball, and gets a base hit to right field.
Kleiman coming to the plate, who did some pitching today. He also has the other hit, a double. Their extra base hit that came in the 4th inning, 1 for 2.
And he also had a tremendous defensive play on a relay to home to catch the runner trying to score that last inning.
Foul back into the seats. Japan will move on into the winner's bracket, and Curacao with a loss here will have no room. They will have to continue to win games now in order to move on for a chance in the Little League World Series championship game. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and the fastball's up high. Well, that's going to do it, and that's the way it should end, based on the way Japan pitched today. 7 strikeouts recorded by each of their pitchers, 20 consecutive opening game wins in the Little League World Series. Out hitting them 10-2, coming away with a 7-0 victory. Japan will now move on to play the winner of the Chinese Taipei Germany game in the elimination bracket. Curacao will face a loser of that one. So Japan wins at 7-0 on a combined 2-hitter. Coming up more, Petaluma, California, Fairfield, Connecticut. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Omar Garcia-Parra, I'm Gary Thorne. Lamade Stadium, Carl!
Gary, thank you very much. And as you move across...
Bom, esse aí é partido, naturalmente um partido que nós não assado Gana, pero mucho realmente a una balantia, mucho com força e naturalmente de beisebol tá sendo costa. Se você não hace trabalho bom, você não tem suerte, você não tá gana. Não se perde, pero nós tem já sabra o Ges do Sol. Nós temos já sabra contra de perdedor Europa e Ásia Pacífico. Ges do Sol é partida e naturalmente por conta pagamos mira di partite también. Non perde animo, perde un battaglia, significa come perde e guerra. Non sta pampe per il prossimo compromesso ora, che già saprà ora, naturalmente per planta nazionale per cortesia di UTS e ENIA, lo tei presente. Tergos